started now. So hey everybody, it's Christine from Twinkle Plans for Day. Thank you so much for coming. We're going to talk about Mildliners and a couple of other products I'm very excited to show you. This is, if you're unfamiliar with Mildliners, we're going to talk about typical Mildliner pens. They have two sides. This is a chiseled tip and a pointed tip. Actually, we can go to the other view so I can show you better with this camera. There we go. These are Mildliner pens. They're highlighters. So one side is a chiseled tip and the other side is a fine tip. You can buy them at Michael's as individual pens. And those individual pens are $1.99. They come in a whole bunch of colors. There's 25 colors, or you can get them in the whole pack. Like so, for $44.99. I love the whole pack, but literally, if you're just starting, just get a couple of pens to see if you like it. I wouldn't suggest buying the whole pack right away, but I do warn you, it's very addicting. This is the regular Mildliners, and then they have brush Mildliners. I'm so excited. This is fairly new to me. I know it's been out probably a year now, but I just got them recently. I'm so excited. This is $39.99 at Michael's. I love this color set, this color combo. Comes in 15. You can do so much with these. I can't wait to show you. Then we have some Sarasa clip pens. Now these are gel, let me see what it says here. Some gel ink roller balls. And they come in different colors and you can buy them. There's 23 or 24 different colors at Michael's and they are $1.99. So that I would check that out because these colors are really great. And you can also buy Mildliners in 5-packs at Michael's for $9.99. And I'm going to, when you start to put a little thing together, when you buy your pens, I always suggest lining them up in different color combos. These are the different 5-packs that they come in. Actually, this one is the Cool and Refined group. First, we have the fluorescent group, and that's your typical highlighter marker. And then we have our deep and warm group. We have smoke blue, magenta, gold. I love this color combination. We have the bright group. I call it my summer group. And then we have a cool and refined group. And then we have the friendly group. So these color combos are great to have, but it's also fun to mix and match and get some really fun color combos and get very creative with our Mildliners. Another thing I should say before we start is there are templates for this class. I'll show you them now. The first thing we have is a 25 things to track in your bullet journal or planner. So if you're ever wondering if you want to do something for your planner and you run out of ideas, here are some ideas that you can quickly refer to get some ideas. Now, this one was printed out and would go great with a big happy planner, for example. But if you wanted to size it for a classic, you should print it out at 80%, and that will get you the perfect size. And I think I did that at some point to show you what it would look like. Let's go through it. This is a savings tracker. And here is the size that I reduced. So what you would do, I'll show you the other templates in a minute if you haven't already downloaded them. The link should be in the chat room. Remember, there's a chat room and this class is recorded. So if you do miss something, don't worry, we'll go back to it. You can always go back to it at a different time on Michael's, at Michael's. So we're going to take a Fiskars trimmer and just trim it down. Now, if you have a happy planner, you can just punch it in. But if you don't, you can always washi tape it to your planner, to your journal or bullet journal. If you have a bullet journal, you can use washi tape it to adhere it, or you can just punch it like so, and it would fit right into your happy planner or notebook. I like to keep a notebook of different ideas to use for my planner and see how it fit. And I colored them with, I should show you another set of markers that we're going to talk about today. It's Akira Rich markers, and Kira in Japanese means glistening. So that's why they're called Kira Rich. And these are just like the Mildliners. I'll even show you. Go ahead and show you. It's a chiseled. Now it doesn't have the other tip. It is a chiseled one, but it has glitter on it. So let's see if I can just show you here. I don't know if the camera is really going to show that glitter, but there's a lot more ink than in a regular Mildliner. So you should be using this on a thicker paper. I don't know that you can see. I'm afraid it's lost. The effect is lost with the camera. Maybe you can catch a little bit. I'm trying to show it. Anyway, in real life, it does glisten. So I'm going to put this back. I always put my pens back into the packaging so I don't get anything mixed up. So I'm going to be doing that from time to time. So the other templates are, we have the tracker, the things to track in our planner. We have this sort of hexagon thing. Now I used it to make a savings tracker, but you can use it for anything. You can use it as a step tracker. There's a whole bunch of applications for this. Then we have, now this one's really just for books. This is a book tracker. You can write the titles of the books that you're reading and color them in with Mildliners when you're done. And again, you should print this out at whatever size you'd like. It's about 80% for a classic happy planner. For an A5, I would maybe go 75, 60. You may have to play around with the printing. This is just a regular bullet journal layout. And I have a section of 12 boxes here, so you can track something monthly. You can have like a goals section here, and then 4 here for quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3. So this is kind of like a goal template. And here is a jar, a savings jar, that you can color in as you save for a specific goal. So those are the templates that we have. But before we get into that, I want to show you how I use Mildliners in my planner to stay functional. So the first half of this class, I would like to show you how I use them in my planner. Here's a mock planner. This is the painted marble available at Michael's. I'm going to go for February. This is like my mock planner. Let's say I'm planning for the week. I always get out my Mildliners and I always get, I try to find a different color palette for each week. Sometimes I do rainbow, but this time I think I'm just going to pick out what's in front of me. I think this is a cute, the red and the 2 different purples. So on Monday, let's say I have a staff meeting. I'm going to make a box for any event that I have to be at. If I have to be somewhere, and a Zoom would also count as for me to somewhere that I have to be, I'll put a box around it. Now let's say I have, after that, let's say I have a Zoom. And then I have an evening event. Now, I use it morning, noon, and night. You can use these planners, or any planner actually would work for this type of thing. I always do something in the morning would be the morning, something in the afternoon in the middle, and something at the night. I'm a very visual person. I have to see it right away. So boxes are where I have to be. And if it's a bigger event, you just use a bigger box. And if I have things I need to do, I will either put a little bullet point like so, or straight lines. I go back and forth. Now, a lot of people use Mildliners for color coding, in which case you would have to keep with the same color each week, and that's fine. That's very functional. A lot of people do that. I admire that very, very much. If you have, let's say, here, I like to keep my rainbow together. So I'm going to take out just the rainbow colors. I think I have an orange one here. Perfect. I usually take my rainbow thing together. And you can color code, let's say school would be red and like a Girl Scout activity would be green. When I used to color code, I always had green for Girl Scouts and maybe for other volunteer activities, or children. Each child from your family can have a different color. A lot of people do that. And some people actually put the label of what each color is onto the Mildliner. And what I found kind of works is this Post-it labeling and cover-up tape. You can use regular sticker paper, and I had been doing that previously using paper, but this stuff is just so easy. You just take a little piece, label whatever you want to label it as. Let's say your finances, you'll put that in green. And green could be whenever you have something like a payday or a bill to pay. you could just write green for finances and it'll stay there. And the green will always be for finances. See that? I didn't quite label that well. You can use a label maker too. I think that would probably be better to use a label maker and put it there so it would stay. But of course, I change every week, so I don't do that. So let's say the next day, if I had something going on, let me just take this page out of my planner. That's the good thing about happy planners, is that you can take them off the page and work with it off. If I had something going over 2 days, I have no problems with doing a box over 2 days. I do that very often with my teacher planner. When I have a project that goes over 2 days, and most of my projects do go over 2 days, I will use it over 2 days. And then if I have something just to do this day, and I'll use another color for the Wednesday. Or of course I can use bullet points. And you check them off as you go. Let's say, just so you get the feel of it, I'm going to, where's the black one? Here we go. Right, 9 a.m. staff meeting. Let's say there's the trash to do. There's the post office. We had a Zoom here, 2 o'clock. So that's basically what my planner is going to be. And I do the whole week like that. I will use the same color for each day. Down the line, I can't even remember which one this was. This is this color, right? And I will vary the length of the boxes. I know I get asked all the time how I keep my lines straight. The answer is I don't really keep my lines straight. Practice, steady hand, and go slow is really all I do. There's not that much to it. So bullet points there, and that's basically what my planner will look like in a functional way. And for me, that works. A lot of people like to use black and go over, and it's an interesting look to go over like that. Or if you wanted to do dinner, you can also use the fine tip as well for boxes. That works. Let's say I wanted to do a nice little dinner box. Let me put my little lower so you can see. And have dinner. And there's my little box for dinner already done. You can have and write in what you want, like, let's say it's lasagna. And there you have, each day you can have on the bottom what's for dinner, or write shopping list on the side. I always like to have a nice big box. Actually, when I do go shopping, sometimes I will do different categories, because you know how the grocery store is separated into like dairy and then vegetables. So I'll have different boxes for different sections of the grocery store. So one will be dairy, let's say, and then I'll go, all my meat products will go into another box. That way I'm not forgetting things. This really keeps me from forgetting, especially if I have a big shopping trip, like for a holiday. And then maybe the snack aisle for another one. But you got to find what works for you. This is what works for me. And it took me a long time to figure it out. It took me a couple of months when I decided I wanted to try out Mildliners. It took me a couple of months before I found out what really works for me. So you really got to use it, test it, find out what works for you. If you need a color for every child's schedule, if you've got 3 kids and they each have a lot of things going on, maybe that's going to work for you. So definitely try out different things. So that's basically the function part of it. Once I've got the function part of it, sometimes I do like to get creative with my Mildliners, and I want to do some spreads that are a little different. So I wanted to show you what you can do. Also, if you make a mistake, here's a trick. If you wanted to cover it up, if you like your planner nice and neat, some people do. I don't mind if it's messy, but some people like it neat. I take a Happy Planner punch, and you can use a square punch. Doesn't have to be this size. I just like this one because it fits so perfectly in the little boxes. I take sticker paper. Sticker paper I buy online. Unfortunately, you cannot get this at Michael's, but maybe one day. You use sticker, and I always have to figure out which one is the right side. So that's the side. So once you have a little box, here, you take a Mildliner, and you can go around the borders with any color you want. I know we all love our box stickers. Those of you who like the Happy Planner love their box stickers, but you don't ever have to run out of box stickers again. There's a box, you can use it to cover up something else. If something gets canceled, put it over 2 days. You can even cut it to make it smaller and change the size of your box. And then you've got a sticker you can use to cover something. There we go. And you can put it wherever you like. Never have to worry about making a mistake again or running out of box stickers. So that's basically how I use it functionally. Now I'm going to show you some. Oh, you can also do this idea with the cutting up of the rectangles. Now that's one way to do it, but I also like to get creative, and I had these hexagons. So sometimes I do like to cut hexagons from sticker paper and use these as a nice little functional and creative element. I have to figure out which side. Okay, that's the side I want. And I'm going to take, I don't know where my red went, but let's try green. And we'll just do the same thing, go around the borders. You have to make sure that the top, that you're going straight down, and the top of the chisel tip touches almost completely the border. And you have to keep on the same spot so that you know that it's going to be straight. Let that guide you. And if you do this enough times, you do it very quickly. And you've got a little hexagon sticker, never ever to run out. You can make as many as you want. That's why I think it's so beautiful about these Mildliners. The colors are so perfect. They're not too harsh, but they do show up well enough. Here, let's put one here. And now you've got a nice little design element. I wouldn't put it for this spread, but you get the idea. I wanted to show you a couple of ideas. Once you have, like, if you wanted to do a whole spread with hexagons, I did do that one time. For this one, I did a stencil, and I just do the hexagons directly onto the planner. But you can also use the stickers, my sticker approach. So I did that one time. And then I used just lines. One time I thought this was a really good one. I didn't have a lot of things going on. I used stickers for the events and then just lines for things I had to do. And that's how it ended up kind of messy, but I like it that way. And then I did just boxes that were that looked like bricks. Here, let me take my Post-it out so you can see. Boxes that look like bricks in a rainbow form like that. And this is another one that I did. I just went up and down with the different lines. Trust me, I cannot draw. I am not that much of an artistic person, but if you can draw a line, you can do amazing things with Mildliners. That's another spread that I did. Here's another one, just did lines, like if it was like a sound, like a radio waves, like sound waves. And again, with the rainbow, I think this whole planner I did rainbow. And here's another interesting shape that I did. And here's another one with just the boxes and the rainbows. And that's so you just get an idea of what you can do with Mildliners. You can go with totally different color scheme. You don't have to do rainbow. You can just stick with the purples or the cool tones, or the orange and red tones, the warm tones. So that's it. That's how I use it functionally. That's how I use it creatively. I suggest that you take a notebook, and every time you come across a fun little design, an idea, you just sketch it onto a page in your notebook. And whenever you're pressed for you want an idea, you can just refer to your notebook and you'll have so many ideas. Something will always come to you. Here's my book, one of the books. I have plenty. This is just one of them. And they're just little sketches of things I've seen, you know, and that might appear on one of my spreads one day. They're definitely not Instagram worthy. It's just for me. But I thought I would show you a couple of things that I've gotten, that I've been doing in this book. And I'll go over a couple of headers that we can do in a bullet journal or a page that you can add into your happy planner. Do we have any questions so far before I move on? I can't hear anything. Hello? All right, I can't hear anything, so I'll just move along. So I thought we can make some headers. Like suppose we're gonna do a bullet journal. I've sketched a little thing in pencil just so I can remember what I'm going to do, but you don't have to. You could do it in pencil before. A lot of people do. I don't really think it's necessary. You could take out a ruler and do it with ruler if you'd like first. I don't always think that's necessary, but if you do like those lines to be straight, you can use a ruler, no problem at all, but I don't think I'm going to. I would suggest using graph paper. This is the Happy Planner graph paper with, I mean, they make a whole bunch of different graph paper. I'm sorry, it's not graph, it's dotted graph. I do recommend this. It really helps to keep your lines straight. It helps you to make sure if you're doing like a monthly spread to make sure that all the squares are the same. You'll know if you count how many squares. So, and I made a little cheat sheet. This, I know that on the bottom part, there's 36 squares and the top is 52. And a lot of different journals are different sizes. So you're gonna have to just, you know, just make a little cheat sheet of how many boxes you have. It will help you plan a different layout, whatever layout you want to do. Also, I should also suggest at Michael's, there are a whole bunch, probably a complete half aisle of just journals. And they've got line journals, graph journals, this kind of paper journals, and some of them have templates inside them. So definitely have a look at that if it's something you want to go into. So really they have a large range. So I'm taking my Sarasa clip pen here, the black one, and I'm just going to do a banner like a header. I'm just going to go 2 straight lines and it's about 4 boxes down. But you can do this however long you want. So once you have a box, I'm going to take 2 lines and make them on each side of it. There's about 4 boxes this way, 1 box down, 2 boxes on the bottom, 2 boxes on the bottom. But it doesn't really, you'll see when I do this, that it doesn't really matter how many boxes you go down. You can eyeball it. I don't really like to measure much. And we're going to make a fun little banner header that you can use for the title of any spread that you'd like. And I usually come down with I like the gray Mildliner for shading. Love the gray Mildliner for shading. So I'm just going to shade down over here. That's the inside of the banner. And you can color this in with whatever. You can leave it blank like this, that's fine. Or I would color it in with a lighter color if you're going to write something on top of it. Let's do yellow then. Now, a lot of you are concerned about smearing. I always like to use my Mildliners first and then write over it. But apparently with the Sarasa clip with pens, if you give it some time to dry, there's really minimal smearing on top of it after, but you have to give it time to dry, like 10-15 minutes. Now this is not 10-15 minutes, but I'm not really going to touch it either. I'm just going to color it lightly inside. Now, most bullet journals have really good paper, so you don't have to worry at all about bleeding. Mildliners really do not bleed usually. The newer Happy Planners, the paper's a little thinner. As long as you don't press too hard. See, I went over it. There's no bleeding whatsoever. It's completely good. As long as you're not going over and going back and forth too hard, you will never really have that issue. With a bullet journal, I know the bullet journals in general have really good paper. And I don't like to go back and forth like a regular, just one pass of The marker is all you need. And if you miss it, becomes white, it's okay. Just go over it a little bit. I use the other side sometimes to go through. So that's a cute little header, and you could write like the month or savings tracker if you're tracking something. So that's one header. Very simple. And then I'm going to go with a simple flag. This is another way that you can set up a title for your page. And I also like to go, where's my gray one? Love to go with a gray one and get some shading in there. So it makes it look like there's a shadow. Then another one we can do, I love this one, to make it look like notebook paper. You can go down, give a nice, like a rectangle shape. Now, instead of going all the way across so that it's completely perpendicular, you leave a little space, like 2 or 3 squares. You go all the way down with the other one, also stopping 2 or 3 squares below, and you'll just do a little curve. And then you will connect to like that, like the page is coming up. Okay, then we're going to take a red Mildliner. We're going to go like it looks like old school paper for studying. You can go down like this and then use the gray Mildliner. Oops, I didn't make it completely flat. When it's not completely flat, you won't get a perfectly good. There we go. I just fixed it. It's okay. Everything's fixable. So isn't that cute? Doesn't it look like notebook paper? And then you can have a little tack at the top. Give yourself a half a C, another half C, and then a triangle to make it look like there's a pin. There's a, what do you call those things to pin it to? A cork board. You can just color it in with the Mildliner, any color, and that's cute. Here's another idea. You can also make it look like, I'll make it a little bit smaller, this one. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to curve this one down. Like the page is coming up. And do little lines like this coming down. And then you can make it look like it's in a spiral notebook by just doing some curly cubes here, some scallops. And then again, I love doing, you can also do lines actually. Well, that's a little uneven, but we can do the shading as well. Again, I use the gray. You don't have to use gray. You can actually use any color for the shading. I just happen to use gray. Really makes it come and makes it look like it's popping off the page. Here's another one. You can also make it look like there's washi. This is not the pen I was using. You can also make it look like you have washi tape holding a piece of paper up. Like that, and then put a different color in to make it look like washi tape. And that's a cute little header as well. You can also make the lines a different color. You can really get creative and get so many different color combinations. Or you can start out just with, this is, now I'm using the fine tip. You can do, and just color the whole thing in. To make that a header as well. And I'm going to show you actually one of these things with here Kira Rich pens. These are the glitter ones. I hope maybe that you'll see it this time with the glitter. Now these only have that chisel tip. So it's going to be harder to get those rounded edges perfect. But a little tip with these is if you tap it with your finger, you won't get that dot that stays because there's extra ink in this. And you don't want that extra dot that comes out. You know what I mean? And you just tap it with your finger. It'll go on your finger. You see it right there? It's glistening a little bit. So you won't get that added here. I won't do it for this one so you can see. You see that? That extra ink there that's pooling? You just tap it with your finger and now it's totally gone. And you just have to make sure you wipe it off so you don't get it all over. So you can do like 3 different colors. Let's do a purple one as well. And then you have a cute little header. For a journal spread. And then just tap it with your finger and you've got that glitter look. I'm sorry that the camera does not capture the glitter as much as I would like. Yeah, you really can't see, but it is very glittery. So also if you wanted to use Mildliners for like the days of the week or something, if you're putting dates on, you can just do circles and then write the little date, let's say 11, like that. You can get a cute little combo, color combo going. Like 11, 12, and then you can just do 13 here. And let's say green, which I'm not going to go over it because that will smear. Should have done the 13 afterwards. I'm just going to be very careful. So if you're doing like days of the week, you're doing like a spread, and you have to do things for each day, you can put them next to it. That's kind of cute with the circles. So that's just a couple of ideas. I like to keep a notebook of all these kinds of things. So when I get to my page, I have something to work off of. So on the back of this, I'd like to show you what a lot of people do with bullet journals is have a header that will show like the month of the year before the different planner spreads. The monthly has the month that has the title page. The next page will usually be a monthly spread. And then after that, the 4 weeks. So I thought I would show you a simple way to use Mildliners to do a monthly page, a header page. So I'm just going to take any, you can use any pen. I'm using this, the Sarasa pen, the black one, but you can use any pen for this. And just actually, before I do that, I'm going to use a green pen. I'm going to take the fine one and go all around in a circle, just like this. Now this one's going to be for March, which is why I chose green. Spring. St. Patrick's Day. So it's kind of obvious to have a green. So then I'm just going to write March. And this will be some sort of foliage. And I'm going to go around and take my brush pen. I like to keep them in the package. So I always know which color is, what color is where. And the brush pens are great because if you just use them on the side, you'll get what looks like a perfect leaf. And if you put them together, just pressing them on the side, it'll look like little leaves. So you can have little leaves going all around. Just turn the page around and you can just, this has all sorts of applications as well. You can make little hearts for Valentine's Day. You can make raindrops coming down for April, which is what I think I'm going to do for my April page, is use the brush pens and make them look like raindrops. And then I'm going to go around over this with the black pen. Oops. Oh, I fixed that. There we go. So it looks like little leaves coming all over, and you don't have to be artistic at all. just putting your pen down takes no talent whatsoever. I'm going to come back with a pen. You can't get easier than this. You're just going to go around and go over where it says March. And you've got a cover page. That took like 5 minutes to do. Okay, there you go. You can also go around and do the little leaves, but I think it's fine just to leave it to as is. Actually, it's kind of cute like that. And just go around the whole thing. But I wanted to show you with the pens how they turn, how you can make them into hearts. Let's take a red one. Here, you take your brush pen and just pat it to the side on an angle, up. And see how it turns into the cutest heart? You can do a whole bunch together. How adorable. You can do rainbow hearts coming across for a February page, having a trail of them go up somewhere. Really easy, simple way to do that. Then I'd like to show you how you can use the brush pens for, I can use this one because I'm not really going to use this. Let's do how you can use the brush pens for lettering. And if you're not a letterer, trust me, I am not a letterer at all, but these pens make it so easy to do whatever you want to write. Let me see if I have some room here to do it. I'll just do it on the side. Let's say I'm writing hello. For every, you just angle your pen at a 45-degree angle. As you go up, there's less pressure. And when you go down, there's more pressure. So I'm making an H, you go up and then press it hard to go down. Every time you go up, it's light, then pressure to go down, light, and then pressure to go down. So you get that. Then you can go back with another color. Let's do a different blue, this one, and do a shadow effect. So even though my lettering is not professional at all, I can make it look like it is by going back and doing a shadow. So on every left side of every stroke, I'm just going to go down and shadow it. Don't know if you can see it as well as I can, but I'm going to bring it to the camera when I'm done. Every stroke on the left side, you're just going to go shadow. I love these brush pens for this. There we go. You can fix any errors, anything that's open. Oops, I did the wrong side. There we go. Now the shadowing, the light does not do this justice at all. I should have chosen two completely different colors. Let's try this again. I will do, maybe I'll show you with the black, just the black. Then after that, you can go, actually do it again. It's kind of cool. There we go. And that is how you can use pens to enhance your lettering. Even though you may not be as good as what you see on Instagram, you can always use the pens. The brush pens make it easy. You can shadow, you can experiment with different kinds of lettering. Here's another idea. Suppose you wanted to make a monthly page for March. I put a little strip of washi because I want to show you something. If you really don't like using script, you don't have to. You can use a chisel tip, let's say, and just do, as long as you're making sure that the entire chisel is touching the page, like you're not doing it at half on an angle, you're completely going so that the whole thing is touching the page. You can just go spell out the word March. And this is, you know, not particularly good. You can take out the washi tape, using it as a sort of blocking that middle part there. There we go. And in that little section that's free, you can just write it out in cursive. So you have a cool header like that. Then I'm going to quickly do a monthly view because it doesn't take long at all. Just take a black pen. I guess you can do this with the fine point of a Mildliner as well. And just go. I pre-measured 5 squares per day. And I am going to need, I think I can do without a ruler. You're just following the lines on the graph paper. If you follow along with me, you can get quite a bit of Bujo spreads done during this class. Those of you who know me know I use a planer, but I just wanted to give you some ideas of how you can use Mildliners in a spread that wasn't part of your planner. Here, let me show you actually. I'm going to finish this and then show you. I do use Mildliners to make graphs for my finances, and I'll show you that in just a second. I'm going to take out my planner. In the back of my planner, this is my planner. In the back of my planner, I have my budgeting. So I have, oh, that's one of the templates. Here are the templates I was looking for. I have, for example, let me show you January's or December. This is my December. I used Mildliners to track my spending. So gas was one color, groceries was another color, eating out was another color, and I changed this every month. But just to let you know, just to show you I'm a visual person, and seeing this with different colors like this really helps me visualize where my money's going. And I put how much I spent each month. So tracking that. And then I track my grocery spending using Mildliners as well. And so I put, you know, where I'd like my grocery spending to be and where it really was each month. Did January, I'm still working on February's. So that should be out soon. Just to give you an idea of different applications. I forgot to show that before. So back to my monthly, I went on a little tangent there. I'm going to use a Mildliner and just go across just the top. Now I'm not going over the whole thing because I can make just one line, but I don't want to smear my pen. So I'm just going to stop it each time I make it to the black. It doesn't really change the timing of it too much. And then we have a cute little monthly spread. We can track our steps. If you like to do that, track workouts, track calories, whatever you want to track. You can make the boxes bigger and just make it like a regular monthly planner layout. And that's cute. I mean, I don't remember how many days March is in, but you can just write this. Start it off on Sunday. Write the days of the week, and there is your cute little spread for March. And we're running out of time. So that's a March spread, but I did go over most of what I wanted to talk to you about today. But hope everything's okay with the camera. I see a dark, I think she's using All Happy Planners. Today, yes, I am using All Happy Planners. I do have a little bullet journal like this. If anybody wants to see, you can use, yes, did someone say something?
Yeah, we lost the overhead video.
The overhead video. Let me see what is going. Oh, there we go. Is that better? There you go. I'm sorry.
We're back.
Yes, that was because of my phone. I have low battery. How did that happen? Because I was at full capacity. Let's see. All right. Everything good? All right. Someone said, I think she's using All Happy Planners. Well, I have this little journal I can use as well. The reason why I don't usually use journals is because they don't lay flat. But this, if you did want to lay it flat, you can use binding clips. This is a little journal with graph paper that I can use as well. So that's an option if you don't want to use a happy planner. I wanted to go over the templates. Yes, I have this Starburst template that I wanted to show you that you can use as a gratitude journal. You can write, like I was going to write, I'm so lucky. And I outlined all the rays, different colored in the warm colors to make it sort of like for March, for St. Patrick's Day. Or you can use this, instead of green, put red and make it more like a sun for a summer thing and write shine so bright and write different goals or things that you're proud of or anything like that. So I was going to show you, let's do this. This is a gratitude one that I'm going to make. And I'm going to write first, well, let me use the Mildliner for this one. I'm going to write, first of all, I traced all of it, the rays with Mildliners. And I'm going to write, and then I'm going to use the brush pen to write lucky. Again, I'm using green, a lot of green today, just because we're in March. And I'm going to shadow it again as well, because I'm not that much of a letterer, but these pens do make it easier for you. And then I'm going to go back with black. And on the left side of every stroke, I'm going to just highlight it with a black pen. Really makes it pop. I hope the camera is showing it. And I'll show you with the Sarasa pens, Sarasa clip pens, how you can journal in this. Okay, so we have the green here. So I would think, for me anyway, I was going to write, that's everything that I'm thankful for, like my job, for example, and I write things in green. And I was going to use the yellow one for the yellow and just go like that. Like my husband would be the next one here. I wanted to show you how they write. The yellow is very yellow, which is great. Then I have orange. I don't know if you can see. I'm writing the name of my cat. You see how they come out? The green is green. I love these pens to journal in different colors. A lot of people like to journal in different colors. And these pens are really good for that. That's my daughter. Let's say my home is next. So I'm just going to use this as a gratitude journal, but there's so many applications for this. Just wanted to show you how you can use that template. This one you can use, I did as a savings tracker. So I used a color palette. This is the color palette that I used. I wrote down the different amounts, and each time you like save $25, you'll just fill in that color. And if you saved 50, you can fill in the color that corresponds with that. And then you have a savings tracker. All right, so that's basically what I was going to go through today. If anybody has any questions, I guess now's the time. Are there any questions that I can maybe answer? I'm not hearing anything. So now we're getting a frontal view. I'm totally available for questions if anybody has any, but I'm not hearing anybody. Hello? We are muted. Somebody said we are muted. I'm so sorry. Somebody was late. Don't be late. This is a recorded, don't worry. This is a recorded class. So if you missed it, it will be on the Michael's website. You can catch something and go over something and fast forward something if you're not interested. So it's totally fine. I can see some of the texts are coming through. So Anne-Marie, if you want to write any questions in for me, so I can see some things that are coming up on the screen, but I can't hear. What's the name of the pens? These are Sarasa clip pens, the colored ones. I will show you. Here, this is what you can buy them individually. There's like 23, 24 colors. Here, I'll actually show this way. Here. Looks like Sarasa clip pens. They're gel ink pens. And they're very fine. They don't come in, it's not a thick stroke, they're like ballpoint pens, but different colors. And the colors are really, really strong. And there's 24 different ones, which is why I like it. Yeah, someone said, love the Sarasa pen so much. Yes, yes. And they come in so many colors. I only have a few here. They even have navy, like the navy and the black, you can really tell the difference. And there's also like a navy, this is like really navy, but there's a navy black, which is so subtle. Can you show you how to do the raindrops? Yes, I can show you how to do the raindrops. I love it. And this is what I'm going to do for April, I've decided. So here is the brush pen. I'll do this on the back of this. So let's say I do April. I'm not going to actually write April because here, I'm just going to show you that you just go and press down up and it looks totally like a raindrop. Like you couldn't really draw a whole bunch of raindrops. I think it's so cute. This is how I'm going to do my April. See the blue, and you can do different blues. There's this one as well. Maybe alternate the colors of the raindrops. Oh, these ones are actually coming out bigger. Some of the colors are softer than others, so they'll be more, some of them more flexible. So the flexible ones will give you bigger, or maybe just because I used it more, the nib got a little more. There's the raindrops. I love the raindrops too. It's so cute. I'm going to use it for something. I know I'm going to use it on my monthly spread for April. That's almost certain. Yes. Do I have any other questions before we go? The gray is very dark, has a brush and bullet tip. Yes, there is a dark gray, but there's a lighter gray as well. There's two grays on the Mildliners. The brush pens only have one. It's later. The brush pens only have one gray, but there are two grays. There's a dark one and a light one. Today I just used the light one. Anything else? I only see like a couple of things that come up, so I'm so sorry if you had a question I didn't get to it. You can always DM me on Instagram. I'll totally answer you. Somebody asked on my Instagram also where I get my inspiration from. And I thought about it. And a lot of times I get inspiration from clothes. I teach in a preschool and they always have cute t-shirts. And sometimes I'll see something like a pattern on a t-shirt that I'll make a little note of and say, oh, I'll have to put that in my planner sometime. Or the bricks on the side of my house, the way that they're placed, I'll say, oh, that looks like a good, or tiles or other planner spreads or Pinterest or logos from products. Different logos inspire me. What I saw a question, then it went away before I could read it because I didn't have my glasses on. My Instagram is Twinkle Plans Her Day. And it's for planning. If you like planning, then come along and join me. I love planning. And I always use my Mildliners. So I'm a planner. Most of you, I guess, are planners too. And I'm sure you're all crafters if you're on Michael's, right? So planning and crafting kind of go hand in hand sometimes. So anyway, as I see the time is rolling down, I'm going to have having trouble. And I'm unfortunately, I can't finish. Somebody said, thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you learned, got some ideas and got a little bit of inspiration for your bullet journal. So the next time you take out something, you have something to go on. I wish everybody good luck in bullet journaling. It can be very calming. It could be, it relaxes you. I find a lot of benefits to planning and bullet journaling in general, besides just getting organized. There's so much more to it. It's a creative outlet. The journaling aspect is very, very helpful for your mental health, for calming any anxiety that you might have because of COVID. I started journaling again during COVID and it was really, really helpful for me. So wish everybody good luck with that. And, go out and try some Mildliners. Have a great day. Everybody have a great weekend. And hopefully I'll see you on Instagram.